Hi, Jeff. I'm glad that you could come here this morning and talk with us a little bit. Jeff Woeste is a partner with Hubert Flagel, a local accounting firm and business consulting firm in Dayton. 85-year
85 years
history. One of the longest standing and most prestigious local business firms, and it's been my privilege to work with them for over 20 years. I've known Jeff since he became a partner 10 years ago.
Yeah, about that.
About that? Yeah.
Not quite.
And he's here to talk with us about his experience working with young physicians and in general helping people efficiently accumulate wealth and manage their taxes. And so one of the first questions that I think about when I look at the many different people that I've worked with and the problems that I've helped them solve or sometimes haven't been able to help them solve is the issue of tax diversification. I've seen people be very successful at accumulating wealth, but it's 100% in a qualified plan. And then when they get to retirement, every time they want to make a major purchase or take that big vacation that they planned, the money has to come out of that taxable account, and they're faced not with just with a large
the government gets the first 40% of it.
Right, and and so they have to take out the tax as well as the amount they want to take out for whatever it is they want to do. So can you talk a little bit about why it's important to use the different things that have different types of tax treatment to get the best kind of flexibility in retirement or in long-term financial security?
Well, obviously, you never want to have all your eggs in one basket.
Right.
You know, as growing up, working on a chicken farm every day of the week, I can tell you when all your eggs are in one basket and that basket breaks, you have an absolute big mess that is virtually unrepairable.
Right.
And so along those regards, you want to have different buckets of money. You want to have different baskets. You want to have money that is post-tax. You want to have money that is pre-tax. You want to have money that is in a qualified account. You want to have a Roth account. You want to maybe even have a permanent insurance that has a cash value option to it. Every bucket has different tax features. And so when you get to retirement, if you have a bunch of different options, whatever the tax law is when you are in retirement, you can manipulate which bucket you pull money from to lower your overall tax rate.
Right.
Which, is a heck of a lot better than being tied into one bucket that has one big tax rate on it.
Right. So what a lot of people don't understand is that various provisions of the tax code are designed to either tax me now or tax me later. And when all of your money is going to get taxed later, it generally is in an account like an IRA or a 401k or something along those lines.
403b, 457.
Right. And the tax code, because they want to collect the tax on it, they mandate that you have to start taking out a certain amount when you reach age 70 and a half. And they use a mortality table to spend down that money over what they say is the life expectancy of the person who owns the account. There's a risk associated with that. You can outlive that money, and the government will make you take it out. Now, you may not have to spend it, but you will have to take it out of that tax-deferred wrapper. So talk to me a little bit in specifics about alternatives to that before tax savings. In other words, pay some tax now in order to get a benefit later.
Yeah, we have this wonderful vehicle in our tax code called a Roth IRA, and a lot of 401k plans actually have a Roth provision.
Right.
What Roth means is you pay the tax on your money today.
Right.
The growth grows tax-free, and when you take out that money, you don't pay tax on the withdrawal. So the example
the growth or the principal that
growth or the principal, because you paid the tax on the principal before it went into the Roth account. So the example is you earn $10,000, you pay tax on it today. You are left with $6,000. You put $6,000 into your Roth account. Over the next 30 years of your working career, that $6,000 grows to $26,000 or whatever the number is.
Right.
with the power of compounding interest,
Mm-hmm.
that $26,000, there was a growth of $20,000. That $20,000, no one's ever going to pay tax on that.
Right.
It's really the only tax, one of the few tax avoidance schemes that we have that is approved by our Congress.
Right. And now, recently, over the course of the last, I don't remember when high deductible health plans and health savings accounts came online, within the last 10 years. And over the course of that time, it's become apparent that those might be one of the most tax efficient ways for planning for healthcare expenses in retirement. Because that's one area of the code where if you use it properly, you don't pay me now and you don't pay me later. The HSA, after you've accumulated a certain amount of money, they don't make you spend it at any time, but you can spend it, and all your withdrawals plus the interest or earnings on those funds can be withdrawn tax-free in retirement if you use them for qualified healthcare expenses. Is there anything else in the tax code like that, or do you want to expand on that HSA?
Well, yeah. I mean, the HSA is a great vehicle because an HSA is simply a IRA account that you can access earlier for health expenses, and it's tax free. So it's a great vehicle. Number two, I mean, there's other areas of the tax code. For example, qualified dividends are taxed at a lower rate. Long-term capital gains rates are lower. There's real estate investments, with different attributes. Rental income can be passive income, and you can get the cash flow and not pay the tax on the cash up front. So there's lots of different things that all come into play. And as you build and accumulate wealth and have different options, you need to be consulting with somebody who knows a lot about a lot of these options,
right? Because
there is not a one-size-fits-all plan for any individual person. Every individual has different goals,
right? And so, but as a general rule, start diversified in your types of investment accounts and stay diversified throughout your life. You'll have more options and more flexibility in retirement.
Absolutely.